Welcome back, everyone. It's the Free Speech Forum podcast.
Jerry, I think we've got one of the strangest podcasts in store for our audience tonight they're ever going to see.
Whoa, hit
all
it.
right? I just want to set the stage. Welcome back, everybody. All right, Bob. We got Bob, Brooks, John, same crew as always. How are you guys doing?
Doing great, man.
Fantastic.
Loving it.
We're going to be talking about home buying 101, and I know all about it because I've purchased a home.
Has everybody bought a home here?
Yeah.
I bought a home one time.
Bob's bought like 10 homes.
I bought more than one. I'll put it that way.
Well, I still know more than you because I bought one more recently than you.
Yeah, so I'd like to say hey to our viewers, like viewer here, there's viewer there, and viewer here. Hey guys.
Hey guys, yeah. So this is gonna be a fantastic podcast. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you guys would like to like and subscribe to this video, that would really help us out. So please, thank you very much for doing that.
Yeah, good point. We want to be here for you, so help us. If you like us, help us.
Our sad sign is covered up by.
Oh, someone kicked our sad sign.
Can we fix
there.
it?
That must have been the air guitar.
And maybe while he's fixing it, I'll tell you that our podcast is available on all platforms: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and the brand new 24/7 The Free Speech Forum Radio.
That is fantastic.
So, yeah,
and there's an app for that too.
Yeah, you can get the Radio King app and search for The Free Speech Forum Radio. There's a lot of kind of like groovy, funky music. We pick some like non-corporate music. And
yeah, there's some great tunes. I was listening to it at work.
Oh yeah, it's fun. It's got kind of like a jazzy, nice. Funky feel to it.
Yeah,
what was the name of? Tell everybody the name of that app again.
Radio King.
Radio King.
And it
one
plays,
word.
Yeah, radio.
Yes, RadioKing.com.
If you search Radio King, it's gonna come up.
And then you hit the Free Speech Forum.
You just type it in the search, yeah. And one other point about that, it doesn't just play music though; it plays our podcasts a couple times a day. Because we're on podcast 18 now, so we can play different podcasts.
Yeah, we're getting up there,
and it's all true.
It's all
true. No BS.
Straight
at the Free Speech.
No
Forum.
censorship.
You know what else is true, Bob?
What's that?
We have a sponsor.
We do?
We do.
Could it be Palmetto Steel by any chance?
I bet it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd say they're the finest steel company in the world because they sponsor us, and I've got a right to say that. But they specialize in what?
Oh, making cylinders out of steel.
And drilling holes in, but bigger than that,
bending
rebar
steel.
Fabrication, and they can build anything, and this is underlined, they can build anything out of construction-grade, raw or processed steel or aluminum. That's pretty damn cool. Because usually the companies do one thing. You're either aluminum or you're a steel company. These guys do both, and it's construction grade. So we're talking 85 stories on a skyscraper.
That's tall.
Yeah.
That's the kind of things they do.
Steel makes me hard. I mean, they make hard steel is what I meant.
Good, John. Glad you
Thank
clarified
you
that
very
for us.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You
Palmetto State
audiophile,
Steel.
you.
Whoops.
Yeah, so we also want to thank Pixel Joe's Photography and Video Studio for providing this great facility and equipment that allow us to bring this podcast to you each and every week.
Yeah, and also thank you for building the wall behind us.
Yeah, Joe's a good guy.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
All right, so let's roll straight into funny videos. My favorite segment every week.
Everybody does
I know
that,
the
Bob.
Star Wars Lego set Death Star, but can you chug a sparkling water and not burp?
Yeah.
Look at him go. I wonder if anyone here can do that.
Oh my gosh. What do I do?
Oh man,
That like it hurt.
That
right into the garage door.
I think
the door.
Do we have a challenger?
Yeah, do we have a challenger?
Challenge accepted. Let's see what happens.
Heavyweight challenger, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
You brought your own sparkling water?
I always have just I got a case of them over here.
Oh, I gotta get him away
Go,
from
go,
me.
go, 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 go.
Yo,
Ladies
Chug
and
it,
gentlemen,
chug it, chug it, chug it, chug it.
he's gonna puke on
I
camera.
can't do
Finish
it.
it.
I feel it in here.
Finish it.
I can't. I don't want to puke in Joe's studio again, so
I
I'm
don't
gonna stop.
want you to puke on me.
I can feel the air trapped right here. It's
Can you-
I'm about to explode.
Well, but this is professional stuff, so it's okay to burp.
No,
Can you
I'm
not give us?
I don't know.
Isn't this part of the Bloat Max training program?
Oh yeah, I guess I got to get my fluids so I can build up the bloat right.
Bloat Max.
Oh gosh, and he's still going. Ladies and gentlemen, he's still going. And it's cherry limeade too. That is. Oh, I can't.
Hey,
Hey.
you know what? Just when you think we can't go any lower, we dig down another 2 feet, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, after that one,
Time back to follow.
I think you failed that one.
he failed.
It was fun though.
I like the
So
song.
yeah, so we're gonna be talking about some home buying 101, and yeah, I said I was an expert at home buying. I've only done it once. I think we have a few better experts here in the studio. So someone give me some tips. Give them
Well,
some tips too.
You know, one thing, I think they still do. It's called your mortgage builder, rate builder, where you make 2 payments in 1 month, and you can cut off $15,000 to $20,000 to $25,000 in total payments off a 20 or 30 year loan. Is that correct, John?
Well,
Right.
that's true, but there's also a theory of opportunity costs. Like if you're double paying on your mortgage, you're losing opportunity to invest in the stock market or something.
Yeah.
The problem is most people, they don't use that money to invest in their stock market. They just
Yeah.
blow the money. So
So I think
if you're not going to be good with your money, you might as well just
Interest
do
rates
that.
are so low. I don't know if that's a good move. Like,
I'm
right off the
actually.
bat.
Yeah, it's
I'm-
cheap money.
So I'm actually.
Well, I knew it was stupid when I brought it up. I just wanted to see if you guys were stupid enough to
Hey,
believe it.
that was a good tester.
What do you got, Jerry?
Yeah, I was gonna say. So I'm pretty investment focused myself. But as someone that's fresh, if you will, I've purchased a home a little over a year ago. Someone that's fresh into first home ownership, I do think there is something to say for having a smaller monthly payment. Like, the more you can put into it to get your monthly payment smaller. That is something personally for me that's just the stress factor. I know,
Yeah.
I've done all the math. I know you do 2 payments every month, or you do 15-year instead of a 30.
Yeah.
You pay so much less.
Could I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you know how much you paid per square foot for your home?
Okay, I don't actually remember
I do.
that.
You should tell the world that.
I
Jerry.
don't actually remember that.
Well, hey, he bought his house before they skyrocketed.
Yeah,
so he's all right.
We all got in
Yeah,
good at
I
the right
actually-
time. I think one good step is to find the right residence that's going to fit your need and your family's needs. Make sure you establish that when you look for your first home. Don't
Yeah.
get a house too big when you're first starting out. Get something that you can afford, and
Move on.
you need to
So-
decide how much you can afford.
yeah,
That's when
so
figure out how much go to the bank, figure out how much you can be approved for in financing, and just because they give you $1 million, don't spend $1
doesn't
million.
mean spend $1 million. Yeah, so for someone that, if you're just one person, you really only need a house for one person. You need a bedroom for yourself. You need a kitchen, a living room.
That's called a mobile home.
You might want a guest. You might want a guest bedroom and a guest bath and maybe an office. You need a starter home. You don't need to go out and buy a 3,500, 4,000 square foot house with 4 bedrooms, a bonus room, massive kitchen. You don't.
What is the average square footage on an American home? Do you happen to know, John? Is that a stat you're familiar with?
It would probably get burned down a lot by a lot of these like northeastern homes. New England homes are going to be a lot smaller, but
Yeah.
Just guessing, completely guessing, maybe like 1,500.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah,
1,300, 1,500, somewhere in there.
Mine is just shy of 1,500. So here where we live, looking at starter homes, pretty much everything I was looking at was shy of 1,500, or sorry, just shy of 1,600, or so I guess somewhere between 1,500 and 1,600. And so I think mine's like 1,550.
But the point would be that there's a right size for everybody. And is that correct?
Yeah.
John,
Yeah.
you know the market
Bob,
very well
I think
here.
you got the right size for you, don't you?
I think I do.
You got
yeah.
several square feet on your
I've
house.
got a few square feet, yes.
But yeah, I mean, I've always focused on price per square foot, and because to me that's one of the best metrics for valuing it, because
boil it down to the smallest possible metric you can.
Because houses usually sell based on the square footage, and the thing about square footage is you can get your price for square foot up by remodeling. If you're in one neighborhood and there's a house going for $74 a square foot, but then the one across the street's going for $95 a square foot because it's remodeled, that you can put the work in your house and raise the price.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Boil it down to the smallest value, the smallest factor you can. This way you can, because all the houses are going to be different. You might have a 3,000 square foot house that has a bonus room, and it might have 3 bedrooms, and then you might have a 3,000 square foot house that doesn't have a bonus room and has extra large, but all the bedrooms are big. And that's going to appeal to someone completely different.
You got that curb appeal, but I don't want to wear you out, John, but what would you say out of a home? Let's just say there's 7 areas, like 2 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a kitchen, what do you think is the top couple of rooms if you were going to max them out to really get the square footage price up and make an attractive home? What would you do?
I'll pass to Brooks.
Kitchen and master bedroom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, kitchen and master bedroom. That's where you want to sink your money.
Because the wives are going to like that a lot too.
That's the number one thing for resale value. So.
Cool. Okay.
So let's, I guess, kind of.
Well, I want to mention one thing. You never want to spend more than 25% of your monthly take home after tax.
That's what I was about
for monthly mortgage payments.
That's a good point.
So make sure you pay attention to that when you're.
That's
and you can
right now. I'm not making any money.
Well, you can stretch it if you live by a controlled budget. There's some room to stretch that, but that's a good tip to make sure that you don't go under and that you have other money that to live off of.
Yeah, and that's. Generally speaking, that's the upper bound of what you want to do. And if you make a lot of money, you don't have to say, I make more money, I'm going to go buy a bigger house. If you want a bigger house, go for it, but you can spend less. That just because that's a standard, like the don't go more than that. You can stay at 15% or 20%, and it's.
So you've just bought a home?
Yeah.
How much space do you have between your exterior walls and
my
your
neighbors?
neighbor?
Okay, so this is actually kind of funny. So I bought the biggest lot in my neighborhood. My house is, I think they do 11 feet, 13 feet, 11 feet, 13 feet spaced out, and I don't remember. Mine was weird because I bought the biggest lot, and my house was actually plopped right in the center of the lot. Bunch of builder fiasco stuff. Later, I had them shift the house over. So I don't actually know what they put there, but it's 11 or 13 feet. I'm pretty sure.
Can you go out on your back patio and grill a steak and without having your neighbor come out and smell it and say, "Hey, do you need somebody to help you eat that?"
No, because Taco Bell is behind my house.
Yeah, you can go by outside and cook a steak and see Taco Bell.
Jerry, run us through the home buying process. What's all involved in that?
Okay, so basically, I think the first thing you need to do before you get into purchasing a home, you need to figure out if you're actually able to purchase a home. Very first thing you need to do before you ever step foot in a house, I think you need to talk to a bank and get pre-approved. Just because you talk to a lender doesn't mean you have to borrow from that lender.
On.
You just need to know if you can get money. If you can get money, most lenders are going to give you roughly the same amount of so once you get that number, then you need to go figure out how much you're willing to actually spend. So get pre-approved. After you get pre-approved, find a real estate agent. They're only going to help you. I mean,
Yeah.
If you're a buyer, yes.
if
It's
you're
free as a
buyer,
buyer.
Yeah, you're not.
Might as well have one.
You're not going to be able to do it yourself. And if you can do it yourself, it's going to be way too much stress. They're going to have houses available for you to see before anyone, before you would have ever seen them yourself. Once you have a real estate agent, just start looking. Talk to your real estate agent. Tell them what you're looking for. Tell them, you better have a general idea of what you want. And if you don't, then he'll just say, he'll start showing you stuff.
Yeah, they might have pocket listings that's not even out there on the internet that they know of. So,
but if you tell your real estate agent kind of what you want, I want 2 spare bedrooms, I want an extra large master bath, he can kind of, or she can kind of like start to gear you towards these specific houses. He can, or she can tell you, look, this is the price point you're looking at, and you can adjust what you want from there. But then go actually look at houses. Don't just look at pictures. I mean, don't waste your time. Don't go to a house when you see pictures that you don't like. If you don't like the neighborhood, if you don't like the area.
Yeah. You can do some market research yourself too. Like there's some great apps out there and websites
Actually,
like Zillow. You can almost find the home that you want yourself, and then have a realtor.
A few times I've bought houses maybe every single time that we didn't really like the pictures the best. They were like 3rd or 4th on our picture list. And you go and it's like, oh, this is pretty nice actually.
So since this is,
and real quick, sorry to interrupt, but Pixel Joe here, he understands the value of good pictures, and so probably the houses that ended up liking had bad pictures taken, but I ended up getting them cheaper because they had bad real estate
pictures for you.
All right, sorry, Jerry.
Well, so because I had just purchased a house for the first time, and this is kind of home buying 101, what I can say is I knew I was in the housing market. I was going to be in the housing market soon, so I started looking for houses in November, but I knew I wasn't planning on purchasing until at least like February or March or whatever. And this goes back over a year ago. But
did you ever consider building?
I built my house. Yeah, I didn't build. It's not a custom
By your
house.
hands?
It's not a custom house, but I did talk to the builder, and I changed a bunch of stuff, and so I kind of made it my own.
Well, in this state, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you can act as a general contractor one time.
I didn't know
And
that.
that's what I did when I built my original home, and I hired a guy and paid him a flat fee to get the house built, and I saved a shitload of money.
Everybody gets their one.
That's right.
To kind of wrap up what I was going for there was I was looking in December, and I knew I wanted to know what I wanted. So this way, when I was actually ready to purchase a home, I could start looking at if there was something I liked, I could just pounce on it and take it.
Gotcha.
So I knew kind of what I wanted and the price point I wanted back in November, and this was November of 2019, or I don't remember.
You got it at the perfect time.
Oh yeah, perfect time.
So, if you're going to buy a home, though, one good thing to do is after you decide on that home is to get a home inspection.
Absolutely.
John, did you get a home
God.
inspection?
So, yes.
Yeah.
I always have got a home inspection, except one house we bought at auction. My cousin and I bought at auction, and we didn't get a home inspection, and we've replaced 2 HVAC units.
Hit you in the butt.
That's the one of 7 that's giving you problems.
Oh,
right?
man, but the good thing is we're going to be able to sell that as commercial property. But, yeah, we didn't get a home inspection, and we have paid probably like $30,000 in repairs in that house over the last year.
Yeah,
My brother is a home inspector, and boy, he's told me some stories you would not believe of the stuff he finds.
Well, the thing is, if you find a house that you
God.
like, it's an old construction home. If you find something you like, the current owner might not know something that's wrong, or hopefully not, or the current owner knows and just doesn't tell you. I mean, it might be something so small but so costly.
Well, a lot of times, though, the home inspector will find it, and then you can renegotiate with the seller and be like, either you're going to give me money off the price or you're going to fix this before I move in.
But then that's the thing. If you're buying an old construction home, you almost definitely, I would say you definitely do want to get a home inspection.
It's crazy not to.
Yeah. So
that'd be like buying a car online and then having your wife drive you out there to pick it up.
Yeah.
You know?
It's worth every bit of the $400 to $700 it costs
I will
it can
say,
save you down the line.
I will say this, and you guys might tear me apart, but I bought my house brand new, and I actually chose not to get a home inspection.
Oh wow! Even for a new home, you need to get a home inspection.
You had like some kind of warranty, right?
Yeah, so
that's not so bad if it's brand new.
That's okay. Yeah, and so I read through the warranty and everything involved with that. Every major appliance, everything that was major with the house is covered for a year.
The first year, right? Everything's covered.
Everything's covered.
And a reputable builder?
Yeah, I mean.
The problem is once you sign the deal, getting them back out to actually fix stuff is very difficult.
And that is true. So there are things that I've had happen which would never have been found in home inspection. Like my dishwasher is broken 2 or 3 times. I think 3 times. And getting them to come out every time has been an absolute nightmare. The first time I was hand washing dishes for a whole month.
Ooh,
and
ouch.
then when the guy finally showed up, I think he had to come, diagnose the issue. The part was not in stock, and I had to wait 2 weeks for the part to be in stock and get installed. So I was hand washing dishes for a month and a half. So yeah, and that was a nightmare getting in touch with the builder.
I couldn't imagine how much you complained.
Oh, it was. I complained every day.
You probably wrote a long letter.
This big.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, home inspection, that's going to be basically, and you can actually put an offer in on a home pending a positive home inspection. And so if you can put an offer in on a home, it can be approved. And then if the home inspection comes in and it says, hey, look, there's going to be like $20,000 in repair costs, then you can default and it won't. That can be written into the contract, and it won't negatively affect you.
So, John, what's your thoughts on putting 20% down? Because, that's what the bank wants you to normally put, if you can, to avoid PMI. So what do you think? As a first-time home buyer, should you wait until you can put 20% down, or does it just – what are your thoughts?
So if you have an investment property, you have to put either 20 or 25% down.
So,
but I would always put as little down as possible, but I kind of have a different perspective than most people because as little as cash as I can put down and then I get some kind of return off that little bit of cash, I'm making a lot higher percentage of return off my money. So, but I think for a normal person who's just trying to keep things in a budget, and invest in their 401k, you're going to be better off being more conservative, putting the money down.
Yeah, so to add on to that, if you have a very, very secure job and you know how to invest money wisely, you always want to put as little down as possible. If you're going to invest the remainder of the money in a wiser place, because your mortgage rate's going to be anywhere from like 2 to 3% max, whereas you can get 7%.
Yeah, 7% is the long-term stock market.
So what I will say though is, if you're going for your first home, you have money to buy a home, but your job isn't like a contract job for the next 5-6 years. If it might not be that secure, but you have to probably put down as much as you can and get your interest rate as low as possible. Get your monthly payment down as much as possible. And I mean, someone that's looking to buy a home for the very first time, they're probably not putting down $80,000. The difference between like,
oh hell no.
The difference between putting down.
Well, to argue that point, I mean, if you don't put 20% down, you're gonna have to pay private mortgage.
Yeah,
insurance,
you mentioned that. What does that mean?
Which is a safety net for the bank that's going to cost $300 to $400 a month. So if you can jump in the house, like say you're renting and your rent's $1,100 a month, but you can get this house and pay, and you only have 15% to put down, and you can still get that payment close to that, you should probably buy that house and have PMI. If your total monthly payment is around $1,100 or say it's $1,300, you should probably make it work.
Yeah,
because you are investing in yourself when you buy that house.
Yeah, usually
that's
PMI,
the number one way to get rich is to buy a property.
Well, and
for the average American,
you have a different approach. I've always bought as rental homes, try to put as little down as possible. But you've made some money off of your houses over the years.
Yeah, I've had some luck. So, buying houses and building houses. So,
what's your technique?
Well, I know, John, you have a little different technique, which is to buy older homes with lower price per square foot. But I've had success just buying homes in really nice neighborhoods, that I could afford that are going to go up in value. So, you know, my first home, I only had it for barely over 2 years, but I made 30 grand. So, I mean, it can really pay to buy a nice house in a nice neighborhood. And right now, you know, we're just seeing interest rates. We're seeing interest rates low, and we're seeing property values just go up and up and up. So if you buy now, who knows, a year from now, there's money to be made. So I think, Jerry, you probably already made money. You haven't been in that house long.
Oh yeah, I bet you made some money.
I moved into my house August 20th, 2020. So I've been in it for just over a year. And yeah, I mean, obviously I haven't had it appraised, but
Yeah.
I bought the house at the absolute perfect time. Cheapest, you know, or not cheapest, but I mean, it was
Lowest.
yeah, it was the lowest interest rate I could get at the time when building materials were the lowest and the price of the house was the lowest. Like literally months like just a couple months later, building materials skyrocketed.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
Shame.
Well, I had one question, though. So we've seen people, I've heard friends that are buying houses right now, and they're offering to get a house. It's so competitive. They're offering 20 to 30% over asking price to get a home.
That's
Like,
Bidding
do you guys
wars.
think that's
They're getting a bidding wars.
do you think that's a good move in this
So-
current market, or, you know, what do you think the path forward
So
is there?
at least in South Huntsville, you would rarely ever see, you know, 3 years ago and before, you would rarely ever see a house go over, you know, 95 a square foot, and most are around 70. But now it's like they're all 130 a square foot. That's that 30% increase, if not more.
So
Right.
what I would say, if people are bidding over asking price by that much, here's the thing: you're better off, generally speaking. I would say, probably don't spend over asking price. But what if you have a family and you need a home and an apartment just won't cut it?
Or you want to be in a certain neighborhood
So-
for a school system. That's
Yeah.
what a lot of people
So-
are. They're buying in Madison. They want the
They're-
Madison city schools around here, and so that's why they're paying this overprice.
There are going to be reasons why someone is going to want to pay over. I mean, this is obviously probably not home buying 101, but if someone was going to, you know, if someone had a valid reason to pay over asking price, you just have to realize, look, I'm probably going to take a loss on this, or it's going to take a very long time.
What people don't understand is it's sometimes renting a home. You can rent in good neighborhoods. You can rent in the right school system is the best choice financially by far, because you're not responsible for repairs. You know,
Yeah.
you can hold out for the market to change, but so many people don't want to accept that
Rent
renting-
with an option to buy, too.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Let it
something
count
that can
against the
happen.
principal.
Right
Yeah,
now,
rent to
it
own.
might be worth renting.
It is right now. Like,
So,
Or find another location. Like, because some things in South Huntsville, in comparison to Madison, where those people are paying 20 and 30% over, they're not paying 20 to 30% in certain areas. Or if you
well-
drive a little further out.
yeah, that's
So-
true.
and
You just got to evaluate and make the proper decision based on your income.
when it's a seller's market, you probably want to rent.
Well, you know, John, tell me, I suspect that one of the reasons that these houses are going so far above market value is, if anybody knows anything about Huntsville,
Yeah.
we're exploding in population growth. They've
Yeah.
located the Space Command headquarters here. We're now the largest city in Alabama. So
They just
these
opened
people,
the Facebook data
you know,
center this week.
You've got a 2,000 square foot home up in Connecticut, and you sell it for $875,000,
Yeah.
and you move down here, and there's a 4,000 square foot home listed for $325,000.
Yeah.
and I'll give you $5 for it.
Yeah,
what
it's
the hell,
cheap
right?
for them.
Yeah, is that it? Is that what's
and they
going
pay
on?
150
Well,
a square foot.
There's multiple things. I mean, like Jerry mentioned, the cost of living, the cost of building materials went up.
Well, this is true.
And
Right.
you know, a few years ago, you could build a new home. Hell, Jerry probably built his home for the price he could have bought one for. And so you could build a home for the price you could buy one. So it kept the prices of like older homes down.
Yeah, I mean, I think actually a lot of the houses I was interested in that I would have been willing to purchase probably actually would have been a little bit more.
Oh, they would have been more
a little
to
bit
buy
more
than
I
building.
paid.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty particular, but yeah, it probably would have been a little bit more, and I got the peace of mind of
Well, you
having
know,
something new.
I had one house built. I hired a contractor, a building supervisor to build it. I paid him a flat fee, and I moved in with instant equity.
Yeah.
And it was strong, real
So-
strong.
So,
I've got one example. So I bought a house like 2 years ago now, and we had a deal on a house, and the builder that was selling this house, they pulled the offer after we had agreed on Friday, and they didn't sign it. When I called them Monday, they didn't sign it. And that house has gone up over $200,000 in value. They just sold it now. They held on to it and decided not to sell than what we had a deal on.
Those bastards.
So that just shows you like
lost $200K.
Well, I did buy another house, so hopefully it's gone
Yours
up
has
similarly.
gone up, yeah,
but that just goes to show you like how much things have skyrocketed, since COVID.
Oh yeah.
So
My house has gone up 6 figures in like a year and a half, and
wow.
So one thing I want to hit on for people that might be new to buying homes is sometimes like family members or friends say renting is better as someone that's young. But the other thing you got to consider is when you're renting and you're putting $1,100 a month into your rent, that's $1,100 you will never see again. You will not see any of it.
Light it on fire.
Yeah, you'll never see it again. And you have the peace of mind of not having to deal with HVAC repairs or, the carpet gets torn up. You don't have to paint the walls. You don't have to do anything. But you're never going to see it again. If you purchase a home for the first few years or the first however many years, you might not see much equity come back. But anything that comes back is more than nothing.
And don't forget about the rent with the option to buy.
Yeah.
That's a very attractive thing to do.
So a real quick example, though, let's say you rent a house. You pay $1,000 a month to rent a house.
Yeah.
So $12,000 over the year. Okay, right now, houses, 1,600 square foot houses are going for $240,000. And if you wait for the market to come down, you could buy that house for $175,000. So your net benefit, but you don't ever know because the market could keep going up.
So we're in a seller's market right now, and this is most definitely a market where I would say probably want to rent.
Yeah, you just never know though.
But so that's the thing. I mean, if you're in a position where you think housing is going to go down, it just probably hold off because then you might have lost $30,000 versus only spent $12,000 in rent. So.
Yeah. Well, definitely do market research because I think John and I mean, it wasn't long ago. We looked at some houses, and there was stuff out there that I would be fine with living with that were in the $100,000 range. So it really just depends on location and what's going on with it. But John, you always talk about this, and that's leaning on the professionals around you. So can you hit on that for 1 second?
Well, this is something I learned. It's a lot of people try and do everything themselves, and they try and like save money and cut corners by doing everything themselves, not getting an agent or whatever. But it's worth paying these money people to build relationships with business relationships like your home lender, your real estate agent. I mean, I got these guys on speed dial, on text message because they'll do all the work for you and they'll make it really easy,
A great realtor can lead you to somebody to do these repairs or who you should get for home inspection. So they can really make your life easier.
Mm-hmm.
And now their real estate companies are starting to pop up. One of the new trends is flat fee.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how big the house is or how small it is. They take 4.5%. And that can save you, depending on the size of the house, you get $10,000, $20,000, $15,000 easy.
Well, I think we kind of, we have a lot more we could talk about, but it might be kind of
we also have a quote of the day that we might want to talk about.
Well, let's see it.
Let's see that.
Bob, you going to take this one or I got this one?
Well, why don't you take Michael Jordan?
Okay, well, I love Michael Jordan, so greatest basketball player of all time. They always try to say LeBron, but MJ is still the best. So some people want it to happen. Some wish it would happen. Others make it happen. Michael Jordan.
Right on.
So true,
Get it done. Don't wait in bed for another 30 minutes. Just get up.
Yeah.
Look,
Seize the day, man.
I can't
Get
do
up.
that. I stay in bed, but
Get up.
you guys.
Chug your sparkling water for the day. See
Burp
if you can
free.
do it.
Oh my goodness.
Or the old saying, either lead, follow, or get out of the way.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, thank guys. Please, again, if you would, give us a like and a subscribe. That definitely helps us out. So please go ahead and do that. But hopefully this was entertaining for you guys.
Yeah, thank you and thank you.
Yes.
And thank you.
In the comments.
Thank you.
In the
Well,
comments,
don't
please
forget
give us
everyone up in the
suggestions.
up in the balcony.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, yeah.
Hey everyone, good to see you again. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, we'll see you later.
See you guys next
Bye.
time.